When a political party takes on a journalist, a particular journalist, then I think it is worth noting George Davis, who is expected to receive a CD later on this year, made a comment on his program Cliff Hughes Online. He was sitting in for Cliff Hughes, where he jokingly said something about see people land and leave it alone. Clearly, Davis was joking. And although Mr. Davis has clarified and provided the context in which he said or made those remarks, the PNP will not see him and leave him alone. Here is Ms. Burchell taking on George Davis.
Okay, so something happened this week that is worth putting on the record because it shows almost in real time how a narrative can be constructed and when it misses the mark, reconstructed within hours in plain view. Watch this.
It's a pity Kukudu transition, Nora, because we could have get Kukudu to remix the song. Say people land and leave it alone.
Hallelujah. Yeah, that is George Davis' CD, laughing so hard he could barely get his words out in a clip selected and posted to Nationwide's own social media page. And I don't have to establish the context because the caption does it for us. It says George was envisioning Kukudu remixing his classic track to spotlight the matter of squatting. This was while Cooper's Pen was the dominating national conversation and families had just watched their homes demolished. The clip was sent to me. I shared that exact clip and said it was insensitive. I still think so. Whatever your position on the land dispute, people had just lost their homes. In what context was any of this funny? Then George responded.
White people, including some of little intellect, mental midgets, prostitutes for attention, would clip the segment of the program where I was saying to Nora about Kukudu. So, boy, if Kukudu were here, you'd have remixed King David to say people and leave it alone. Clip that and said that look at OD, and by the way, you got that wrong, it's CD. Thank you. Look at so-and-so laughing at people in Cooper's Pen. That's what has been clipped and put in the videos and the posts.
His station captured that response as being about his commentary on land settlement issue. So there is no ambiguity about the context, right? But watch the reconstruction. The first version was funny enough for the station to select, caption, and publish. When the public reaction was not quite so funny, suddenly other people had selectively cropped and misrepresented George. I won't replay the whole tracing and cussing match. You get the point. George Davis CD, not OD, correction noted. George, we both know I did not clip you, edit you, or take you out of context. Your own station selected the clip, captioned and published it. I reacted to what was put to the public. Now you say it failed to reflect all the compassion you expressed elsewhere. Well, dear George, the shoe is now on the other foot. You have just experienced the selective framing and narrative construction many of us have complained.
Hold on there now. Selective framing. The PNP is talking about selective framing. You know something. Anyway, let's listen a little bit more to Miss Burchell.
About from your station over the years, yet you called people mental midgets and prostitutes for attention for supposedly doing what your own station did. But even if you didn't know what the source was at the time of the tracing, the clip is on your page. Commenters have pointed that out. Still no correction, no apology, and still no explanation for what was so funny. There's a bigger issue though, because true journalism requires independence, fairness, seriousness.
All right, let me ask you this. What is more what is more distasteful, the politicians who misled the people into thinking they had land at Cooper's Pen, or a journalist, with a little funny moment, which is more distasteful and which deserves highlight the deception of the PNP, where the judges suggested that they needed to be emancipated, right? Because they were using the powers of the executive to literally take away a man's land, and led the people to believe that they were going to be able to stay on the land. Oh, Miss Burchell, listen a little more.
Conscience and compassion. A political blog, though, can laugh through people's pain, manufacture beef, hurl personal insults, and manage partisan narratives. But let us not confuse that with journalism and then demand the deference owed to journalists. Media holds politicians accountable. Media power must also be accountable. When journalism becomes entangled with political access, favor, rewards, advertising, or partisan advocacy, it crosses the line. People are no longer being informed, but they're being managed. That's not good for democracy. George Davis CD, if you genuinely believe your own station presented you in a way that did not reflect the totality of what you said, perhaps this experience can create a little more empathy for everybody else who has felt similarly treated. Sometimes the lesson finds us in very unexpected ways. Okay.
Well, so there you have it. And Miss Burchell and the PNP, they don't seem to be happy with Mr. George Davis at all. I think the bigger picture here is that the PNP is not happy with Nationwide. And why is that so? Every attempt or every opportunity they get, they seek to criticize Nationwide. And I think that it is unfair. And I really think the PNP should be called out for this, Media is what is called the fourth estate, a fundamental tenet, or one of the fundamental pillars of a democracy is the ability of a free press to hold government accountable. I think it is about the leaked tape here, the leaked voice note that was revealed by Nationwide. The PNP's ball game of politics was exposed, and I don't think they like it.